So there you see it. The highlight, of course, the eagle, the ace, the number one at the 8th. Always a good sign on the scorecard. Had a bogey at the very next hole, the 9th, but turned in 33. Another bogey at 15 today. So a couple of blemishes, but ultimately a pretty good performance after holding the 36-hole lead. Let's hear what he had to say to Amy Rogers after.
Thorbjørn, what a day. The highlight, no doubt, coming at the 8th, that hole-in-one. Take us through it. What happened?
Yeah, I was a little bit between clubs, 7 and 6, and I went for the 6 to a back pin, and yeah, just a smooth little cut, and obviously landed on the perfect spot and took the slope nicely. It's been a long time since I've had a hole-in-one, to be honest, so I think more than 10 years actually, so it was nice.
You told me just a moment ago that's your 4th career hole-in-one. You had started your day, you had already been passed on the leaderboard before you even teed off. How did that impact your approach out there today?
Not really. I probably thought yesterday that was going to happen. You know, they had good conditions and yeah, obviously a lot of birdie chances, so I thought there's definitely a lot of guys that's going to shoot some low scores out there, so I was prepared for that, I would say.
And you were right. There were a lot of low scores out there. It is a log jam at the top of that leaderboard. What are you going to have to do here tomorrow to separate yourself from the pack?
Play good golf. Yeah, I wish it was that easy. No, I thought like this afternoon it was pretty tricky with the wind and it was swirling a lot. So we'll see the conditions tomorrow, how it's playing, and yeah, try our best.
A couple more aces wouldn't hurt as well.
No.
Congratulations. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, sir.
Well, he will play with Akshay Bhatia tomorrow. Akshay just the one bogey on his card. That came at the 13th, but really a collection of birdies, 4 consecutive holes on the front 9. Then he had back-to-back birdies twice on the back 9 and finished with one on 18 as well. Just 26 putts for the lefty with the broomstick today. So let's hear what he said to Amy.
Akshay, what a start to the round. 4 straight birdies to go out in 31. What was behind the hot round today?
Yeah, chipped in twice, which was really nice on a couple shots where I was, you know, statistically not in a great spot. So those were really great, and a lot of putts seemed to lip in today, which was awesome to see. Hopefully that can continue. But all in all, you know, I just played solid, try to have the mindset of going to try and shoot 6 under today. Felt like the first couple days I shot 5, and they were, I would say, average rounds, and so happy to kind of, you know, get 8 today, obviously, and put myself in a good position.
You were just talking a moment ago about how disappointed you've been with your season to this point. What's the biggest challenge for you so far to this point in the season?
Yeah, I just struggled a lot with my driver. You know, I drove it great at Sawgrass, and then kind of after that was not great starting to Augusta, and then spent so much time with my coach at home, and found out my driver is cracked. And so trying to find, you know, a driver that I liked with my golf swing has been a little bit of a challenge, but Callaway's been great with me, trying to, you know, give me as much as I can. And I think just it's been mentally draining, you know, just not playing well. And, you know, it's definitely a tough game out here. You know, you question a lot of things, not necessarily, you know, I always think there's light at the end of the tunnel, but this is the first year of my life where it's felt like a decline. You know, each year has felt like progress since, you know, I got special temporary to winning my first, you know, full field event, to playing all the majors, to being all signatures, to make tour championship. And then this year has just felt like a lost puppy, essentially.
Well, you're playing well through the first 3 days here. What's been the difference so far this week?
Yeah, definitely compartmentalized on a lot of things. You know, whether I make top 50 or not, definitely on the outside looking in for Ryder Cup. So, you know, just a lot of things where I'm just okay with, you know, however the season ends up at this point. Obviously, we got 4 chances to try and make a push, but all in all, I've just been pretty chill this week.
Pretty candid interview, actually, from Akshay Bhatia there, calling himself a bit of a lost puppy, yet he's not in bad position. In fact, he's 46th in FedEx Cup standings, projected 20th where he stands, tied for the lead right now. Obviously, nobody will be sharing the lead come the end of the tournament tomorrow. There will be a winner and a runner-up, and, of course, several other places behind there. But I've always found his career, Jim, fascinating because he made the rare decision not to go to college.
Correct.
He was such a young talent. He turned pro young. You wondered, is this going to pay off? Would he have been better served doing at least a few years in college and then coming out? And look, he's just admitted then he's felt like every year he's been improving. So the answer, I guess, would be he made the right decision until all of a sudden now he feels like he's perhaps plateauing.
Yeah, it worked out for him. And, you know, his manufacturer stuck with him through the beginning. And it was a struggle. You know, he played Korn Ferry Tour, learned out there, won out there, learned to do the process at a very young age, which most people are just trying to find their classes in college. And I think, you know, not everybody can do that. There's very few that can do it that way. I always like to see a player go to college for at least a year or two, kind of get their feet wet with just trying to figure out transportation, moving around, learning how to play and all that. But when you look at it, he led at Valero after 54 and he won. He led at Rocket in 2024 and finished second. So he's had some chances to be up there. For him to say, yeah, I feel like a lost puppy, and you said he's in the top 50. So that says a lot about what his expectations are, but they also might have been the things that have kind of held him back maybe this season. But it's been fun to watch this ride. He's gotten better and better, more comfortable with it, and he's a solid player. He's going to be a tough guy to beat tomorrow. And I think that's part of what you look at. And then you look at Olesen. He's 7 of 8 when he led on the DP World Tour after 54 holes. So he's got it done over there, and it's going to be fascinating to see. Somebody's going to make a move early and shoot a really low number and post a low number, and we'll see what these leaders do as it continues on.
The thing with Akshay is it did take a long time for him to break through. Like, he eventually won on the Korn Ferry Tour in 2022. That was several years after the young decision to turn professional. He arguably could have gone to college and then still come out.
Same result, yes.
And done that with the same result, but then won in consecutive years, 22. On the Korn Ferry, 23 and 24 on the PGA Tour. As for Thorbjørn Olesen, who you mentioned, I feel as if the attitudes between these two co-leaders are so different. Thorbjørn just seems like Mr. Chill, you know, is so desperate to win on the PGA Tour, knows that it'll just take good golf, but he doesn't seem to be too flappable about anything necessarily. He seems to be pretty calm and collected.
Yeah, it's part of the age, too. I mean, you know.
Experience.
Akshay's inexperienced. Akshay's young. He's young in his career. He's had some experience, but not like him, Olesen. So when you look at that, he's been beat up. He's been down. He's been up. He's been down. He fought himself way back up there again. So I think the second time around for him, it's been fun and fascinating to watch him win. You remember, he's been a top, what did we say this morning, top 10 player in DP twice, 4 times in the top 15. He's been a great player. Had that kind of period in his life and things weren't so good, but then he came back in 2022, 3 and 4 and won again. So he knows how to get it done. I think that's why you're seeing him more chill. He's had that experience. He's had the losses. He's already been through that. Now it's just bonus for him.